When you've had as much success as the defense has had and the team overall the first 2 weeks, do you have to have conversations with the group to remind them that maybe that doesn't mean everything at this point, that there's a bigger challenge on the horizon? Do you not have to do that very much?
I mean, as coaches, you're always reminding guys why you're having success, right? Either why you're having success or why you're not. And the biggest thing we push is the execution. When our guy, we never question effort with this group. They play hard and they want to do right. So it comes down to execution. We're going to have some stuff. They love coming in and finding out the game plan. They know we're going to have some things that put them in great positions to make plays and get after the quarterback and trying to set up quarterbacks to throw the ball certain spots. So our guys love ball. They love to play hard, and it's just constant reminder. Just the execution and the physicality that we play with is the magic. It's not in what we do scheme-wise. So our guys have really bought into that. I think it helps them go out there and continue to work. And anytime you have success, that's a reminder. It's nothing carries over in football, right? You got to do it one more time, and limited opportunities on Saturday to get it done, and you can't take a week off.
And you mentioned getting quarterbacks to throw the ball in certain areas. When you look at Michigan's passing game, I mean, you're familiar with Patterson. What stands out about their wide receivers that they've got this year, including they may get Peoples-Jones back? I guess.
Yeah, we hope he doesn't come back. They're a talented group. Wide receiver-wise, they have great size. They can run, they can go track the football down the field, and they love 50-50 balls. As wide receivers, and they're a talented group. That you add the tight ends into that group, and what they can do in the pass game. They have a lot of dynamic weapons around the field, and execution-wise may not be as clean as they've wanted it the first couple games, but we can't bank on that as a defense. They're gonna get things straightened out, and we hope it's next week. But they're a very talented group that is capable of putting up a lot of points and a lot of yards.
Does it make it more difficult when it's a new offensive coordinator that doesn't have a lot of history with the players on the Michigan team right now?
Yeah, you're always, as a coordinator, I feel like every week so far this year it's that, where there's not a whole lot of tape, there's not a whole lot of, carryover from the previous year, and just the different challenge. As a coordinator, you're always trying to fill in the pieces and kind of see what's next in the progression or kind of who's influencing the play calling. But that's just part of it, and we feel confident in what we do and how we match up against it, and you just get your guys to understand there's going to be in-game adjustments. We're going to have to feel out kind of how they're attacking us. We have our ideas, and then we know that we're going to have to make adjustments within the game.
Jim, after the first week, we asked you about Benton, and you said he really kind of jumped off from that South Florida game. How prepared is he now after these 2 games to fill in for Bryson? And also, does it matter if he's in the 3-4 in the middle or if you go with a 2-4-5? Is he more effective or less effective in one of those spots?
He's proven early on in his career he's comfortable in both, okay. and he'll be used that way. The biggest thing is if we go to more of our nickel package with 2 D linemen, there's just a bigger rotation. Okay. He's not going to be on the field every rotation with that group of D linemen. But he's proven that he can handle it, and he's been effective in both. We like what he's done, and obviously every week you just hope his confidence grows and his understanding of the defense is going to grow, because it still has been limited snaps for him.
Keanu and Leo, 2 freshmen that have played both games so far. Can you elaborate a little more on what Keanu has done well to put himself in position to play, and also the same with Leo? What has made him stand out through 2 games?
I think the first thing that you see from both those guys is the speed and the physicality that they play with. Keanu uses, he's got great balance, he's got great power, and he's able to transition from different blocks. Sees things very well considering he hasn't had many snaps. And then Leo, the physical side is not going to be the question. He's very gifted, speed and power standpoint, and the thing that they did early was just understanding the defense. And spring for him was huge. It was really big for him in the spring, and then when you saw him come back in fall camp, the game slowed down a lot for him, and he was able to put himself in positions to use those physical traits that he has. It's hard for freshmen to do that, especially with college football now. There's a lot of adjustments. There's a lot of things with the scheme that you have to do, especially in the middle, as a D lineman, as a Mike linebacker. And it's been impressive to see what they've done, and just continuing to push them and continue. You know, it's going to be fun to watch them grow throughout the course of the season.
You've got here on staff, Zach Vaughn is still very much a raw prospect. Where have you seen him evolve?
We like this Zach Vaughn better. Yeah, I mean, young. You know, we asked that position to do a lot of different things, and just his maturity, I think, has taken a huge step forward from when he was a young player, on and off the field, and to see the leadership kind of qualities he's developing, knowing that wasn't natural. You know, it has been something that he's worked on, and just become a student of the game. You know, he's seen the success at that position and kind of the different things that we asked those guys to do, and I think it kind of hit him like it wasn't natural. It was a process. He wasn't grown up being that outside linebacker, you know, defensive lineman. He was playing quarterback. So I think just a credit to him, the work that he's put in to learn football and learn the game and kind of understand who he is, right, and how he's going to have success. It's been a lot of fun watching that and to see the leadership side grow over the course of his time. It's been impressive to watch, and it's fun because that's exactly what that room needed this year, is for him to step into that role.
Jerry, I don't know if you remember last year's game, that roughing the snapper call. It was 13-7. You guys got to stop. They ended up going down and scoring. That's a unique situation for a defense. I mean, sometimes they have sudden change to deal with. Is that a tough transition for them mentally when they've made a stop? There's that roughing the snapper call, and then they have to get right back on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is tough mentally when, especially an offense that's explosive, that has playmakers, and you get off the field and you got to snap back and run back out there. It's a challenge. You have to prepare your guys. You got to do something in practice to get that. It's probably going to happen twice, right, all season. And how you handle that in some cases is going to be the difference in the game. So it's not a situation you want to be in. It happens, you know. And I think the better your defense can handle situations like that, it allows your offense, it allows your special teams to be more aggressive and know that, you know, it's not the end of the world if a play like that happens. You know, we didn't agree with the call. We didn't like it last year, but it's our job as a defense to go back out there and put the fire out. And I can't remember. I don't think we were able to do that in that situation. I think when they scored, I think we dropped an interception on that same drive. So we had an opportunity to kind of no blood, no foul, and we couldn't get it done.
Do you feel like you have a pretty good sense of how good your defense is at this point? If you view a game like this as a moment where you really find out, if that makes sense.
I think this is going to be a big test. Just from a physical standpoint, it'll be more even. You know, we've been, you know, you look at a lot of matchups in these last two games, and I think we went into the game knowing that we could dominate certain matchups, and we did. And obviously, as an offense, when you can't handle the front, you know, you're kind of on your heels the whole game. Whereas this game, you know, it's going to be a slugfest. You know, up front, it's not going to be, you know, just dominating left and right and getting behind the sticks and being in control of the game. You know they're going to hit plays. You know they're going to hit runs. You're going to have to make adjustments, and it truly will go down as a chess match and not just, you know, win with aggression and let your guys play. So it's definitely a big test for this group because it's, you know, the first one this year that could play out that way. So we're excited as a coaching staff. You know, having this week's been great to kind of get back to the basics and, you know, really study what we've done well and knowing that, you know, what we've been able to, you know, call and execute the first 2 weeks of the season is not quite going to be enough. You know, we're going to need more than that.
Jim, question about the other side of the ball in your team. Last year, Alec Ingold gave you a lot of versatility at fullback. You got two guys there, Stocky and Chanel now. What have you seen them in these first two games start to provide the offense that has stressed other teams, or at least helped the offense, especially with the tight ends being so thin?
Yeah, I think they've been able to develop a role for each of them, and I think John just continuing to grow. I think he can give us a lot of the similar things that Alec did a year ago. Alec was a senior and was just a little bit more comfortable doing it. So they've been trying to kind of feed it to him in you know, just different packages, but not asking him to do everything every week, where last year you had no issue with that. So I like the combination. It's hard as a defense, you know, it's not necessarily a situation we're going to play this fullback one way and this fullback another way. But I think they have a little bit different skill set where we can put them in some situations to kind of utilize that, and I think you're starting to see that in these last couple Saturdays.
Michigan's had some issues with fumbles so far this season. Do you emphasize that more in practice when you see that come into a game, or how does that balance go for you?
That's something that you have to stay on top of as a defense anyway. You gotta work on attacking the football. You have to have that mindset that you're going to do that, whether the team has put the ball on the ground or not. So I don't see it as a bigger emphasis. You hope it's one of those things that they're talking it all game, so it's in their head as a ball carrier. But as a defense, that's priority number one is the ball, and one, the physicality that you're arriving at the ball and how you're attacking it. So it's not really anything new. We're saying, hey, they put it on the ground. Let's go ahead and attack the ball this week. That's got to be your mindset. If you're a good defense, that's your mindset every single week.
Jim, did Noah Burks jump out a little bit on tape last week?
Yeah, it just consistent.
Okay.
I think the play that really stands out is they try to run the reverse and right on the spot, right where it needed to be to make a play, and makes a great decision, off the quarterback and makes it. So that was kind of the big one. And then outside of that, it's just consistent. He's physical. He's really learned kind of who he is and how he needs to win. We're excited for him. Getting Green Bay back this week. Kind of see what we can get from him coming off the injury. But we were very happy with what we got out of Noah last week, and hopefully can continue to play that
So
consistent.
even if Green Bay comes back, you could use both of them?
Yeah, and that was definitely the plan anyway, is that they're both going to play. But you just felt a little bit more comfortable coming out of that game that he can handle a big role.
Jim, Dakota Dixon was so vocal for you, and it's nice to have someone in that spot be that way. Is Eric Burrell, have you seen any of that from him his first couple weeks?
Yeah, I think the safeties are comfortable in this defense. Dakota was just over the top as far as how well he communicated, so it's hard to compare to him, but I think they've done a decent job communicating, and we haven't really been stressed as far as movement and different formations and things where we've had to communicate a bunch, and Michigan's going to put that to the test. There's a lot of adjustments that we have to make and a lot of communication, pre-snap and post-snap. So this will be a big test for our safeties to just pre-snap recognition, and then post-snap how we're handling motions and things like that. So I'm excited for the opportunity. They did a great job in fall camp, and our offense stresses us out that way quite a bit. So we know going into the week that it's going to be a key to the game for the safety group, and having an extra week is definitely good for that.